Okay, guys, so now we have our bodies. No, we're talking about draping on a princess. There's bodies. We have our bodies. This is the pattern. If you don't know how to draft the pattern or to draft the bodice pattern, I think we have something on YouTube about this. If not, I'm gonna do a video on that. So now we have our fabric, and then pattern, our bodice. I'm trying to show you where the idea came from. This is the sketch done already, and then I just want to follow out that same pattern to get what I sketched down. So now to start my satin drape, I'm going to be using my satin. I'm using my satin in bias form. I'm not using it straight, right? I'm trying to use a bias form so it looks stretchy. It could stretch, and it balances well on my bodice or the fabric, right? So now I'm going to be pinning down just like this. I'll pin down my first line. You see, I tucked in the fabric with like 1 inch, and then I pinned down, right? I see that everything is okay, then I'll just continue pinning. So I want to adjust it. I want to take it up a bit, so I'll remove my pins. Now I'm adjusting it, so pinning back. I'm pinning back all the way. All right, so now I can pick. You see the way I'm picking it up? Like I'm picking it up like I'm leaving almost 1 inch. Like I'm picking up my fabric to pleat up 1 inch, like 1 inch lines, 1 inch a pleat, 1 inch a pleat. That's what I'm doing, right? So if you are not used to this, you might need tape rule measurements, but because I'm used to this, I know how to pick up my fabric and picking up again. So it's just like you're picking up your fabric on 2 inches, then you're pleating. Now I'm reducing it. So you can do 1 inch all through. You can decide to do half, depends on you, but the idea is just picking it up to whatever you want, or to however you want rather. So I'm picking up. I'm going to be doing this till I get to the end part of my fabric. I'll continue like so, doing my pleats while checking to find out where I've pleated up to and how much fabric is left, and where I need to pull my pins and where I don't have to pull my pins. So after checking, I could see how much fabric I have left and how much pleats I'll be needing, so I just don't start pleating and doing rubbish and stuff. So I'm going to continue pleating all the way. I'm pleating all the way till I get to the last part. So now for the last part, I'm not going to do much pleats. I'll just let it be, and that's because I will have to sew that place down, and then I just want a bit of design there. So now I'm going to cut out the excess fabric. So first I'm trying to push the pins in so that I don't have issues when cutting my fabric, and see which ones I don't need. So I'm going to start cutting now from the edge there. I'll cut all the way through. So I'm done cutting it out, right? So I make sure everything is okay, everything is aligned. Then up next, I'm going to be sewing the edges down, right? So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and then I'll start by sewing, removing my pins. So just basically sewing down the edges so I could then iron properly, and then use my hemming glue to do a perfect finish on it. So right now I'm just sewing. So after sewing, I want to take for ironing. I'll first off remove all my pins. Remove all my pins, and then I'll take for ironing. So I'm making sure to iron everything, the drapes flat, and then for the top part, like the open part, I want to use a hemming glue to just close it up so it stays really flat. So it's optional if you want to use hemming glue on every line, it's up to you, but for me, I'm gonna use on every line because I want it laying very flat and beautiful. If you want it feeling like a 3D kind of drape, is up to you. So after that, I'm going to come now to the next part, to the other side, based on the sketch I showed from the beginning, from the other part, and then I'll be doing same thing, the drapes also, same thing we did for the first drapes. We're doing the same thing for the second part. And then I'm done with the drape. So next I'm going to be cutting the excesses. If you notice, I still place this the satin fabric on bias form on that side, right? That's so that it stretches and it just relaxes very well, because the bias form of the satin is stretchy. I think most fabrics have the bias form on stretch, right? So I'm going to first cut off the excesses first. Be careful not to cut off your fabric, and then I'm going to now do a proper cut, right? So I get all the edges out. So same thing I did with the other side, the stitching down. I'll do the same, just stitching down the sides, bring out my pins from it, then iron, and also use my hemming glue to just finish up. So I'm just putting the hemming glue at the top part, like the first drape I did, so it just balances out, and that is all. So you see, everything is ready. I just need to iron my drapes, and then I'll be using my hemming glue to close the top part of the design like I explained. So you could do this with organza, with tulle, whatever fabric you want to do. Just achieve your desired style, and you're good to go. So here's my hemming glue, and I'm done.